So he didn't know many people personally there in town. And I kind of like offered to take him out to lunch, not expecting that he would say yes. He was like, sure, why not? And was super cool about it. And I was basically like picking his brain, which I hate doing. I'm like, it's like, I don't feel right asking people for their professional opinion without paying them. Like I just, and so I was super grateful, and I like paid for his lunch and everything. And he was like, look, you're on the right track. If you were able to book 7 figures worth of business in your agency and you were working that hard, the problem is not your sales skills. It's not your fulfillment. It's not your price. He's like, it's just your model, dude. You're working the wrong model. You're doing too much custom work for too many different types of clients. And that is not scalable. It never has been and never will be. And so he's kind of like this genius who like figures out how to make repeatable service. He calls them services at scale, right? And he did that with 2 companies in the IT space. One was an actual IT company, and the other was a marketing agency for IT companies.
Nice.
And so, killed that game before he moved out to San Diego, was like really good at it. And he's like, I just interviewed this guy, Billy Jean, down in Little Italy. You should go check out what he's doing, because he's doing like a couple $100,000 a month just doing Facebook ads. And I'm like, but for big brands? And he's like, well, yeah, but they're like gyms. They're like Orange Theories. They're massage places. They're all local businesses, which is what your lane is. And I was like, holy shit, do you think he would like be willing to sit down with me? So he makes an introduction. I go to Billy's office, and Billy's a salesman. He's very good at selling stuff, and he's even more persuasive in person because he's actually a great guy. Like you want to be friends with him, you want to hang out with him, all that good stuff. And so I ended up agreeing to I paid him like $15,000 over the next 3 months for him to teach me the exact model that he was doing with all these franchises. All he was doing, was saying, I have one ad, one landing page, and it's all like just lead pages at the time, not even ClickFunnels, right? And I'm running the ads for the local business, and these people are making so much money for my service, it's disgusting. And so he was charging like $500, $1,000 a month per location, but it was the same campaign, same offer, same sequence, like everything, right? And all he would do is say, okay, now that I'm like cleared from the home office for Orange Theory, we're an approved vendor. Everyone, like their name just spread like wildfire. So he had hundreds and hundreds of accounts, and his whole team was basically just sitting there cloning campaigns and lead pages, cloning campaigns in Facebook, monitoring it, reporting it, etc. Right? So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I didn't have the money. I just put it on a credit card and was like, crap, I guess if this doesn't work, I'll just go back and get that job,
Crap. Oh my God.
I was just like, ugh, but if you saw what he was doing, it felt like anyone could do that. Like he just showed all of it to me in his office with the team. And I was like, I think I can do that. I know that I've got some gaps to fill, some stuff to learn, but I can do that. He's like, the biggest thing with this thing, dude, is not like, does this work? It super works. He's like, the thing that's going to be hardest is eating dog shit for the next 2 months while you get this ramped up and saying no to everything else that you were doing. Right. Because it's so easy to be like, oh, someone's throwing me a $10,000 check to do another website. Do I get roped back in for the short-term money? Or in 8 weeks, I could have $30,000 a month recurring with clients that are making money from this campaign hand over fist. And I really don't have to touch it. And that's what I ended up doing, was telling my wife, like, I might have to pay back rent to you or whatever, in a couple months. Can you pay the rent until I can get this thing going? And I think it was like, I called my old employee back, my one employee who's still with me today. Her name's Betsy. I said, hey, do you want to help me with this stuff? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, give me like a month to sell all these accounts, and then I can afford to bring you back in. And I trained her, and Billy and his team helped train her and I to get those first accounts off the ground. And so I had like a $30,000 a month Facebook ads business for local businesses within like 3 months of shutting the 7-figure agency failure down. Like I shut that thing down. 3 months later, I had $30,000 a month. I was like, this is crazy. And I didn't even have a FreshBooks account anymore. I canceled that and I signed up for Samcart. And the checkout, this is what forced me to do it, was I was like, if someone can't see this page and force checkout on their own, meaning I can't just add another line item to FreshBooks,
then it ain't gonna happen.
Then I'm forced to say no. You know, they can't haggle, I can't bend. It was like a really, really good thing for me to do that.
Yeah.
It was just like, here's everything you're gonna get. It's clear as day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's monthly, it's recurring. You can cancel with a 30-day notice anytime, but that's all I'm gonna do for you. That's it. You know, and that's how that transition started for me. And that's when I actually started making real money for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I turned the corner on that one, if that makes sense.
So do we call that a productized service? Do we call that like a one product, one service? We call it a productized service. Like you're only doing things. Like if there's only 5 things you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So having that and having it duplicate, like Mason Gray is saying in the comments, that enables you to have a couple of things. And I'm saying this for everybody, even though you know it. The first is speed. Yes. You can do something in 30 minutes. Yep. The second is confidence. I've seen this happen so many times. I know it's going to work and not it's going to work. And then you have control. Yeah. You have the ad, and then you get to control what goes in it versus letting your brain flare off and say, you know, maybe it's a branding thing. Maybe we need to control something else. Like, this is the only thing. Yep. And I have found in my business with the dentists, when I come in and say, I don't do that, I don't do that, I only do that, all of a sudden it's much easier for them to trust me.
Yep.
If I came in and said I can do everything, they go, I don't believe you.